train is coming. Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
The buck dancing Negro coon. Buck dancing Negro coons are deathly afraid to trouble their white masters.
Bow down to President Trump.
Now, your problem right now is making a good impression. And I want you to start solving that problem right now and get them goddamn rooms ready.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
Where the white women at?
Coon train is coming.
All white people ain't bad.
Coon train is coming.
We is our own worst enemy.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
Where the white women at?
Coon train is coming.
All white people ain't bad.
Coon train is coming.
We is our own worst enemy.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
Where the white women at?
Coon train is coming.
All white people ain't bad.
Coon train is coming.
We is our own worst enemy.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
Where the white women at?
Coon train is coming.
All white people ain't bad.
Coon train is coming.
We is our own worst enemy.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
Where the white women at?
Coon train is coming.
All white people ain't bad.
Coon train is coming.
We is our own worst enemy.
America and on this planet. LeBron has risen above poverty to that special elevated place we have in this society where pretty much nothing can bother him. And to sit here and say that, oh my God, my house was vandalized in LA and on the eve of this greatest sporting event, I'm traumatized. It's just not true.
He didn't say it was traumatized.
I understand, but that was the way he postured and, you know, the way, again, it was all said for the benefit of social media and Twitter. I'm fired up about it because, again, this is the Embrace Debate Network. That's what we label ourselves as.
Yeah.
And so I'm not out of bounds here when I say, I watched Undisputed and saw Shannon Sharp today say the hardest thing is being black in America. I was just like, this is crazy. Have you ever tried to be a veteran that lost a leg in America? Have you ever been a poor person accused of a crime and forced to go with a public defender in America? Of any color. If you're poor, regardless of color, you are catching hell. I've been poor. Shannon's been poor. We know the difference. We know how good our lives are, and we don't need to pretend like, oh my God, this is so terrible what's happening to us. We need to be defending the poor and disadvantaged and talking about their issues because our issues are very minimal. LeBron's issues from this bit of vandalism, there are no repercussions.
I mean, pointing out obstacles and facts is not embracing. Is not embracing. That's an obstacle. It's an obstacle white people in America don't have to deal with.
They never have, and their houses never get vandalized. They never hear disrespectful things to them.
When pointing out facts is not embracing victimhood, LeBron James clearly does not think of himself.
Man just said,
can I finish?
Yes, you can. And it is still my show, Chris.
I don't care whose show it is. I'm on the set.
It's still my show. You
so that means I can't talk?
You can't filibuster the whole conversation.
You cut me off every 6 words because I don't agree with you. You start by saying racism exists, but then every time a black person brings up racism, you shoot it down.
Because again, someone spray painting something on a millionaire's home.
He's not a victim in that situation?
Hell no.
Coon train is coming.
What about black on black crime?
Coon train is coming.
Where the white women at?
Coon train is coming.
All white people ain't bad.
Coon train is coming.
We is our own worst enemy.
Coon train is coming.
Oh man.
All right. So let me go ahead and let me see. It gets worse than that. I was like, but just for the simple fact of just starting it up or whatever. All right. So we got Just Starting Paint here. What's going on? Just Starting Paint. Your pa, Shayara. All right. Shalom to you, Harper, Connecticut. All right. And Captain Ariel. All right. And everybody else in here. So before we get started, today's class is going to be called Racism is Practical, Not Irrational. All right. So if anybody got any questions, we can go ahead and answer them now before we get started. If I can't answer it, I'll send it up. So anybody got any questions? Everybody solid on the Bible?
No, just can't think of anything right now.
All right. All right. All right, no sweat. All right, we'll bring it in or whatever. All right. All right, let me go ahead.
In the book of Esther, where it says that how did it say it? That like everybody became a Jew. What's that? What's the breakdown for that?
Let's read it. Everybody became a Jew. I think it's in 8, right? Esther is, let me see, the book of Esther. Let me see. Where's Esther at?
It's after Nehemiah.
Okay, after Nehemiah. I know because it's like a small book. All right. Habakkuk.
After Nehemiah, before Job.
Right. All right. So what was it like? Esther.
I'm trying to find it now. 8 and 17.
I knew it sounded like I knew it was going to 8.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 17.
Yeah, those are the heathens that were around. They started following the customs because it's going to show you right here. It's going to show you why. Because remember, at this time, this is when the Jews started to reign victorious over, overcoming Haman and, having him killed. And, Esther, she's in power, you know what I mean, as the king's wife, right? She's in power and she's a Jew. And then they give all the power from Haman to Mordecai, right? And so the Jews everybody knew like not to mess with them. You know what I mean? So that's why it says, in every province and in every city, whosoever the king commanded and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. See what I'm saying? Yeah, they started. Yeah, we go whatever you doing, we gonna do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we try to act like white people for the fear of them. So what we do, we become Christians, we become, suit and tie niggas. We become all of those things because of the fear that's been instilled in us for centuries. You know what I'm saying? Being under oppression. So okay. So racism is practical, not irrational, right? So what, you want to say something? Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Let me see. 2nd Ezra 14 and 11. The sister's question is 2nd Ezra 14 and 11. Let me see. What's that? 13, 14. Okay. Let me see. They lay 100 sons, for the world has lost its youth, and the times began to wax old. For the world divided into 12. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10th part. So that, let me see. I think this is talking about when we went into captivity and was split up as a nation. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so this is I believe this is talking about the Assyrian captivity. Because in the chapter before it, it talks about the Assyrian, where we said the king whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. I believe that that's what this is talking about. Is that correct? I believe it's correct. It's talking about the captivity, right? And so the world is talking about Israel, of course, and then the 12 parts is the 12 tribes. And then the other parts that didn't go into that captivity, which would be the southern kingdom. Because remember remember that the 10 tribes, the 10 tribes went into captivity, into the Assyrian captivity, and Judah, Benjamin, and Levi didn't. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's talking about. Let me see. Yeah, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10th part. And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. Right. And therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as in trouble, and now renounce the corruption. Let's cast away the burdens, man. Yeah, that's talking about that's talking about 10 of when the kingdom split, and and half of the 10 tribes went. I guess you would say the northern kingdom went into captivity, and the rest is what's left.
So it's not in reference to a phase of time.
No. Okay. This is actually talking about the tribes being split up. Mm-hmm.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
First, I wanted to ask a question about 1 Corinthians 7. Where Paul, I got to find it, where Paul says, to the rest speak I and not the Lord.
Yeah. What is it? 1 Corinthians what?
Let me find it.
What, 7? I believe you said 7 and what?
It's chapter 7.
Yeah. But remember, there was remnants, just to the sister. But remember, there was remnants of some of the tribes that didn't go into that. Because remember, you had like Anna the prophetess, Anna from the tribe of Asher, that was with the southern kingdom. What you say? Which one is it?
Verse 12.
Verse 12. And verse 6. Verse 6 also is.
But to the rest speak I. For the rest, but to the rest. Okay, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she is pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. So you want to know why he's saying the rest speak I? Hold on.
I got an idea.
Okay, so you wanted 6 too, right?
It's like a twofold, because first he comes in Paul comes in, but I speak this by permission and not by commandment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes and says, for I would that all men were even as I. So I understand that.
Right. You understand that. So
in verse 12, where he says, but to the rest speak I, and not the Lord. Now, is this saying, may I take a shot before you?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yahushua didn't speak to the Gentiles. And I was thinking if it was Paul saying, but to the rest speak, because he's talking about marriage.
Right. So he's talking to he's talking to a specific group of brothers that are married.
Okay.
Right. But then he's saying, but to the rest of those brothers, that is not the brothers that I just addressed. This is what I'm saying to y'all. You know, you see what I'm saying? So, and then it says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. Right? If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased as well with him, let him not put her away. So meaning that, you know, if you get I'll give you an example. If you get a woman that's in the world and she's not in the truth or nothing, and she don't believe, she celebrate Christmas and she do whatever the hell she want to do. If you with her and she's your rib and she's pleased as well with you, she doesn't vex you from coming to class. She doesn't try to stop you from being in the truth, and she's pleased as well with you. You don't put her away.
Because at this time, people was putting their ribs and stuff away for anything.
Yeah.
Following the law of
yeah.
law of the land.
Right.
The Roman law,
right. Exactly. Because that's all we ever been doing is following the Romans. Their whole ideology of monogamy, their whole ideology of everything, like how we formulate our opinions off of marriage, comes from the oppressor. And I'm glad these is coming. Y'all hitting these with these questions because it's going right into my topic.
If I make sense.
Go ahead.
So when he says not the Lord,
right?
Is it because Yahushua didn't address this issue right here? Where he said, I mean, he did address it, but he didn't specifically and directly address non-believing wives or non-believing husbands.
Well, okay, it's simple. Like, okay, all right. Captain Orion say it all the time to me. He'd be like, "It's not the Bible, but it's my opinion." Right? It's not the scripture, but this is what I would say. This is what you should do. Right? And this is what all that he's saying in this instance right here. Like, I'm speaking, not the Lord. You know what I mean? I'm saying if she pleases dwell with you, not to put her away.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's unlawful to put her away for any reason
except
it be for fornication.
Right. Right. So, you know, so that's all. Like, Paul is just talking to how we talk to black people. Like, Captain Orion said, that's why I just use him as the perfect example, because sometimes when like he breaks stuff down, like if you ever watch like Ruden's speech or something like that, and he'll be like, this is not the Bible, you know what I mean? This is not the scripture, but I'm just giving this is what I believe should happen. You know what I mean? But of course, it's not against the law or nothing like that. But you know, that in that instance that he's using, you know what I mean? Like, but this is what I say, you know what I mean? But remember, whatever Paul is saying on earth is bound in heaven too. You know, so everything we do, it comes from the oppressor, right? Because somebody look up practical and then somebody look up irrational. Practical and irrational. Because what we fail to realize is that racism is very, very practical to the oppressor, right? Because our leadership, I see him on the news still trying to figure out a way that we can somehow make Joe Biden into what we voted for. Go ahead.
Irrational, not logical or reasonable.
Right. So racism is not illogical. It's not. What's the word I look at? Yeah, it's not irrational to the oppressor. It's very practical, because racism is the survival. It's basically survival. And when you telling, like, okay, they understand that racism has to exist because it has to exist for them to survive. So if we come up talking about we want racism to end, they can't let it end, because basically you're telling them that we don't want you to exist anymore. So it's like, it's deeper than what our leadership would make it out to be, right? Because what do they tell us? They tell us that we should go vote and we should march and we should try to get white people, because it's like, let me tell you what it is. It's like what's that word I'm looking for? When you live through somebody, vicarious. That's what we're trying to get. Our leaders are trying to gain vicarious power through the oppressor. See what I'm saying? So that we can live through him. As long as he's good, then we can in turn be good. Right? Go ahead, Matazapah.
You know, one thing that's crazy is a lot of times black people don't feel like we could be, you know, quote unquote racist, because what we equate racism to is like burning the crosses in your yard, like actually doing like hanging you or you know, stuff like that. We believe that racism is like the KKK. You see what I'm saying? And not like our school teacher or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our notion of racism is like them actually doing something to us versus like racism simply is just, you know, somebody who loves their race, nation, stock of people.
Right.
So they're willing to do whatever it takes.
Right.
Make sure that race, stock, or nation of people stays above everybody else.
Right. Exactly. Like they're always. This is what we, and then hopefully with this class, what I'm help everybody understand is that they're always going to, and I know all y'all know this, but of course we during the class, they're always going to go with their best interest all the time, right? And their best interest is going to be the way that they're going to move as a nation, right? So it would be in their best interest not to give you a loan for businesses, not to give niggas loans for businesses. It's in their best interest not to give you reparations. It's in their best interest to do these things, and this is why they're not going to do it, right? So what our leadership does is we start to make their best interest our best interest. So the more power they have is the more power we can have. How weak is that? Right? This is essentially what our leadership is doing. You know what I'm saying? They basically it's like they're trying to marry us with the oppressor. And I've been saying this the last few weeks. It's like they want to marry us like a woman who would marry a king for power, or a woman who would marry, you know, into a family that was rich and powerful so that she could have some of that power too. And this is essentially what our leadership is doing, right? So let me get what scripture did I want? Let me see, what scripture did I want? I wanted Romans 15 and 4. Or maybe let me get Falling Away first. No, let me get Beggar's Life. Let me get that one, Beggar's Life. Like, when you think about it, right? Like, all since civil rights, right? We've never tried to, like, organize ourselves and go for money, political power, and military power, right? We've never strived for those things. So what happens? Here we are 50 years later in a system trying to get America to act right. And which it will never happen, because this is, like I said, this is not the way the place is set up. You know what I mean? Somebody had that one? Leading Out a Beggar's Life?
Yeah. It's in the pocket, correct?
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy is, like, I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are saying that they're upset. Like Joe Biden, his approval. Anybody voted for Joe Biden? Everybody voted? All right. So Joe Biden's approval rating was like crazy. He was like 90-something%, right? Now his approval rating is like 67%. It's like mad low now. Why? Because he understands that Black people as a whole are emotional and dumb, right? And every politician understands that Black people and Hispanics are just dumb and emotional. So what do they have to do? They have to come in and play on your emotions, right? They got to come in. What did Joe Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Right? He said that, right? But what did he just do? He gave $6 billion to Afghan refugees. Right. They didn't pick no cotton. They didn't pick no cotton, right? And we still over here marching for reparations. The ADOS, right? They still trying to figure out a way to get reparations. And they came right over here and got $6 billion. That's the reparations right there. You know what I'm saying? But they're never going to give it to you. The only thing that Joe Biden's ever going to do is give you things that are symbolic, right? Symbolic gestures. That's emotional. Like they'll give you a George Floyd statue. Okay, we'll give you Juneteenth as a federal holiday, but you ain't getting no money because they understand that they will never hand over any money to black hands. Go ahead, Mr. Paul.
I was about to say that just goes to show you how foul and filthy and how low down our leadership is, like black leadership, because they allowed us to go out and vote and really actually believe that Donald Trump was going to do something when, like, Donald Trump was the same one that called black people super predators. You seen that video where he said, they're going to accost my wife, they're going to beat up my son, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and he was calling black people predators like Hillary Clinton. But our leaders allow us to forget all that kind of stuff. Right. Just so we don't see Donald Trump's face.
Yes.
But then, we end up getting stiff.
Right. Look, man, I'm trying to tell you. And it's so crazy because with the Lord will give us what we want. Right? We want the Lord. We wanted Joe Biden so damn bad. The Lord let us have it. Just to show you that these two, remember, I think a brother put up the meme today that these two piles of crap, one's is going to be a pile of crap that you can see, but the other pile of crap is going to be in a nice, cute box. You know what I mean? It's going to look like a present. But either way, it's both SHIT, right? And the Lord will give us exactly what we want just to show you that what you think you want, you really don't want, right? Because you got the scripture?
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40. Verse 28. My son, lead not a beggar's life.
Say that one more time.
My son, lead not a beggar's life.
That's all we do is beg. Beg for equality. Beg for education. Beg for housing. Beg to be treated like a person, right? Beg to be allowed, in certain groups. And matter of fact, Mataza, I seen this video about how it was a white Mason who was talking about how black Masons aren't allowed in the lodges with white Masons. They're allowed in black lodges, like on the lower level, right? But they got the black Masons in the organization just for PR, to not make them appear to be racist. Right. So they'll have idiots, you know what I mean, of our people in the damn lodge, with you doing your little secret handshakes, and you can't never tell nobody what the hell you believe in, because you in a lodge and you trying to keep a secret. But, a black secret society is not secret to a black secret society is only secret to black people. It's not secret to white people because they dominate everything. Because think about it like this, right? The oppressor has to dominate everything, because if he's not dominating it, he doesn't feel comfortable, right? Like, look at your job. The reason that all like corporate America is dominated by the oppressor. They'll let a few niggas in here and there, few token niggas here and there, right? But they ain't gonna let a whole bunch of niggas in there to where it's equal. Right. That ain't gonna happen. Look up any Fortune 500 company. It's dominated by the oppressor, right? Like when the oppressor can't be in power, he's going to make it to where he can be, right? Because he's going to dominate. And this is why, like, our leadership is no good for us, because they don't understand the rules of survival. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand that their survival lies within them oppressing people. That's what they're here for. They're a virus. You know what I mean? Essentially, that's what it is. Look behind every rapper that's popping today, and you will see an oppressor behind them.
Right.
Look at old LL Cool J. You can go all the way back to LL Cool J and Run DMC. Behind them, you had Leor Cohen. Behind all the NBA, you have the oppressor. Behind football, you have the oppressor. Behind everything that we do, it's that's how they survive. Like, you know, like a parasite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally what it is. So it's like, you're not gonna try to serenade. You can't sing a parasite to not be a parasite. You can't march so a parasite won't be a parasite. You can't do that because it's not it's not feasible, because this is what they were made to be. All right, go ahead.
For better it is to die than to beg.
Who likes somebody who begs? Look, do you like somebody who doesn't stick up for themselves? You? Do you like somebody that won't stick up for themselves? Do you like somebody coming up to your car every time you stop at the red light and begging you for money? Do you, sis? Do you like every time you go to the gas station, somebody comes up and say, hey, can I have a quarter? Can I have 50 cents? Nobody likes a beggar. I don't give a damn what you say. No, sometimes I remember this dude, this Italian guy. I thought he might have been Hispanic. When he came up to I stopped at the gas station at like right before work. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, "Yo, can I have, you got any money?" And I'm like, "Yo, man, it's 6:15, dog. It's 6:15 in the morning, man. Like, it's 6:15." And I was like, "What's your nationality?" And he was like, "I'm Italian." There's nothing more I gotta say to you, right? But the point is, nobody likes a beggar. So if you don't like a beggar, do you think that the oppressor likes a beggar? No, he doesn't, because you're a beggar and nobody respects beggars. Nobody. You know why Chinese people are accepted in America? They're accepted in America because they understand that they're at war with the Western culture. You know what I mean? They understand that they're fully at war with the oppressor. They understand, and that's why they respect it. Right? Arabs understand. Don't they understand that? Arabs fully well understand that they're at war. Right? Every nation understands that they're at war. And this is why they're respected in America. But who respects a beggar? Who respects people that ask for every damn thing? Just take it. Right? Just take it and say, hey, look, this is what it is, and we taking it, and that's it. Because that's what America respects. When the Italians came here, they took what they wanted, right? And they got what they got, the unions. They got the unions. The Irish, they came over here and they got the police departments. Right? You better look at Boston and all that up here. Right? The Irish, they got the police departments. You know what I'm saying? Like every nation on this earth came and took what they wanted from America. But we were the ones who at first we were brought over here as slavery. You know what I mean? But now that we're not in that per se, right? We're still in captivity, but at the same time, our leadership doesn't want to basically be on our own and separate. They want to live vicariously through the oppressor, right? And that's why we go out there and we vote for the next oppressor that's going to get in power, that's going to do right by Black people, right? Because look, whenever we have like an election, it's always about what they're going to do for us, right? Right? That's all it's about. Well, what you going to do for Black people? So they say, okay, you ever heard of this called benign neglect? Y'all ever heard of that? Benign neglect? That means they don't tell you that they're going to give you nothing, so they don't have to ever give you nothing. So everything that they say is going to be always open-ended. Of course, when Donald Trump comes to get the Black vote, he's going to talk about what the Democrats ain't doing for you and what he's going to do for you, but he's not going to do anything for you. Right? Go ahead and talk about it. You had something? You had your hand up?
The first thing we do is, and we understand that the presidents aren't going to do anything. And the crazy thing is, most Black people, even though they know that, or even though we know that, most Black people will say, well, you got to vote on a local level, brother. You
right.
See, it's about You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The governor, the mayor, what's that little group that be the city council?
The city council.
Stuff like that.
The city council, you know what the city council is doing, what the mayor is doing? Nothing. He's fixing the damn corners. You see what they're doing in Wilmington? They're making the corner nicer for people to hang out on. When it's so much more stuff they could be doing with the money, right? Like creating a place that kids can go, like taking that money and putting it in after school programs, right? Like so that the kids can have something to do after school, right? But they've been going all around Wilmington fixing the corner. Literally, jackhammering the corner up and then putting new concrete on the corner all over Wilmington. Go ahead.
When you was talking about how the Chinese is giving this, and
the
Afghan people was giving that,
the
Irish when they came, they was giving, everybody was giving stuff, but we weren't giving anything. And it brought to mind the scripture: the earth is giving it to the hand of the wicked.
Yeah.
They getting everything, so we ain't getting nothing. So we know that they are the ones that are in control. They are the wicked of the earth.
Right, and that's man, Haiti. And what Haiti understood was that if you want real freedom, then you're going to have to fight back. Right. You're going to have to do something radical. But we don't have to fight back with guns per se, because our warfare is not carnal. Go ahead, Matazapah.
One thing that I thought about is a lot of the groups that y'all just named are groups that will be considered minorities, and so like they're minority. We consider ourselves minority, but they get everything. Right. You know, we don't want, we get beat, we get broken down and everything for to get little gifts, and then the gift is given to everybody except us. You know?
Right, exactly.
For the benefit except us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Who goes under the description of or guise of minority?
Right. That's where they shammed us at. They said, okay, well, we're going to give it to minority. You go ahead, sis.
Own businesses because women are considered a minority. I wonder, do they fall under that branch? Like, especially if they're black and they're a woman.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you have like organizations like the SBA. You know, you got organizations like that will help you get a business and stuff like that. But that's not like for the majority of people. You know, like black business in America is less than 1%. If you look it up on the Department of Interior statistics, black business is less than 1% in America. So even though you might see black businesses here and there, on the grand scheme of things, it's not anything. Like think of, I'll give you an example. Think of a Chinese store, right? Now, how many Chinese stores would you say that there are in Newcastle?
Not as many as in Wilmington, but a lot.
So what we're like 10? Okay, so 10. Then how many are in Wilmington? 20. But then how many are in Bear? How many are in Smyrna? You see where I'm going with this? How many are in Dover? And then when you get, how many are in Seaford? How many are in Georgetown? Then you get how many are in the whole state of Delaware? How many are in the whole state of North Carolina? How many are in the whole state of Florida? You see what I'm saying? That's their business is on a whole nother scale. Black businesses, to be honest with you, we just sell shea butter and soap. That's black business. Shea butter, soap, everything you can do to smell good. We got that on lock. A .com, you can go online and you can get it online. That's pretty much what it's going to be. Incense, shea butter, oils, soap, oatmeal soap. You want some oatmeal soap, some African black soap? That's what we got, right? Because because our businesses are not flourishing in America because our leadership doesn't go for the economic power along with political power, along with military might, right? Those are three aspects that we've never tried to get after, Reconstruction, after civil rights movement, after all of this. And this is why we're here and we're integrated into a system without any power. You understand what I'm saying? So like the Chinese are integrated, but they actually have power. You see what I'm saying? Arabs are integrated, but they have power. We're the only ones that are integrated without none. So what happens? What happens to the niggas that's integrated without power? their resources get taken by anybody who will come take it. Right. And this is why the ghetto is the way that it is, because we'll just let anybody come take our resources. Right. So if anybody, the Afghans, they're going to take it. Right. As soon as they get, you know what, $6.9 billion is going to do is going to help them resettle in the ghetto. Right. You think white people want to come out of the house in their nice neighborhoods in Beverly Hills and see Afghans working in a damn shop? No, that ain't going to happen. They got townships for that. They'll go up right up in there and be like, yo, this ain't happening in this town. And we not going for that. Right? And the township will be like, and every time they try to come and apply for the zoning, you know what I'm saying? Or try to tell what kind of store they're going to get, you know, and try to put in the neighborhood, it's going to get denied. And they're not going to be able to do it. So where won't it get denied at? In the ghetto. Right. And that's what will happen. And so you will see Afghans come into a hood near you at some point. Right? They got 26 billion. So they're going to have everything that they need to actually make the move. So that vacant building that's been on your corner that nobody can seem to afford, somebody's going to afford it. You're going to see a Taliban. The Taliban's going to be in there. Right. You know, and they're going to get that building that you couldn't get, and they're going to have everything in there that you want. Dice, wave caps, condoms, blunts, moulators, yeah, white tees, socks, you know, black tees, chicken. You know, they're going to have all the good things that you want. And that's what's going to happen. And guess what? They're going to be behind bulletproof glass while they're doing it. And that's because of what? Our leaders lead a what?
God. Lead not a beggar's life.
Mm-hmm.
For better it is to die.
To what?
For better it is to die than to beg.
Then to what?
Than to beg.
Right. So what's the point of you begging, man? I'm tired of begging. Right. You know, we begging for every goddamn thing. Like we don't understand. Look, this is what you have to understand. In America, there's them, and then there's us, right? So no matter what goes on with them, we're always going to be us, right? Or the other. You know what I'm saying? We're always going to be the other. So any problem that's going to be in America, and hopefully brothers is understanding what I'm saying here, but any problem that's in America is because of you. Right? Slack you. Switch this shield around. Any problem in America is going to be because of you. You're the problem in America, right? As long as you can understand that, then we can finally move on and, you know, get past all this stuff. You know, I'm breaking down racism, and I'm showing you that racism is just very practical in America. It's very practical. It's not nothing that they're just doing irrationally, like when Matala Prab brought it out earlier, like, you know, where somebody is just, you know, they're just on the street just doing, you know, crazy stuff just because they hate black people. No, that's not the real root of racism. The real root of racism is very practical. All right. Let me get Romans 15:4. No, I'm good.
Book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
It was written for our what?
Were written for our learning.
Well, obviously, we haven't learned from it. Obviously, we haven't learned from it because, you know, we still trying the same thing that we tried before, and which never seems to work, right? It's like, if you understand like that, we're always going to be seen as the problem with America. Hispanics is always going to be seen as the problem with America. What the leadership does is they pander to the oppressor, right? And they feel that if they pander to the oppressor, then he won't think that we're the problem. Right. But no matter what, he's always going to consider you the problem, right? Okay. All right, let me throw this out there, right? You know how, like, all right, I'll say it like this. Black and white people in America, it's easy to be friends with white people in America. Let me say that, right? It's easy to be friends with them, right? It's fine and good. Everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody, you know, has a white friend outside of here, right? Pretty sure most people have white friends, right? No, I said outside of here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, outside of here. So most people have a white friend that's pretty cool, that they think is pretty cool, and you know they hang out with, and they go to the club, you know, because I see them in there. I see them in there. Yeah, you think I don't? There's a lot of crews out here with a white friend in there, right? It's a lot of crews out here, right? But the thing is that they don't understand is that they're cool with being your friend until you challenge them, right? Until you challenge them on, like, say your status in America, or you know what's right and wrong when it comes to the law, right? And then you'll see when you challenge them, they'll show their true self. That's an absolute fact, right? Because he's cool, right? He could pop lock with Mataza Bar. He's cool, right? White boy, he could pop lock, he can break dance, he can spin on his head. and we think that's, you know, he's honorary, right? He's an honorary black man because he can play the saxophone. He smoked weed. That's a good one. We're talking about because he smoked weed. So he's honorary, right? We like to give those titles to them. But the minute you say Trayvon Martin shouldn't have been killed by George Zimmerman, what they gonna say? Well, maybe he should have stopped. Right? Maybe he shouldn't have been there. Maybe he should have just not resisted. Right? They always are going to show themselves when you challenge them. Right? And this is why I don't have any oppressors as my friends. I don't have them on my Facebook page or nothing. Right? Of course, you got to work with them, of course, if you got a slavery or whatever. But at the same time, you don't got to go to the Phillies game. I got offered to go to the Phillies game and be in the VIP section. I was like, nah, got something I got to do. I ain't have nothing to do. I have nothing to do. But at the same time, I'm not going out nowhere with you, man. I'd rather just, go home and, crack my feet. Go ahead.
Prime example of what you're talking about is this lady that Commander General Yohana just did a video on. She was like a Supreme Court judge nominee or something by Donald Trump, and she has
Isaiah 56:10.
She has two Levite kids that she adopted straight from Haiti, straight from Haiti, but. So she'll portray like she loves you or whatever like that, or loves black people. But then there was this kid, right, that it was this young boy. He had robbed a store, and he robbed the store. The police caught up with him. The little boy he's a teenager. They said he was like 300 pounds, so he's a big boy. Make a long story short, because of the way that they had him handcuffed, he ended up dying. When the mom was allowed to, the court, the appellate court or something, somebody said that the mom was able to sue this dude, right? The police who did it. When it got up to the Supreme Court or whatever, you know what she said? She said that he didn't have a constitutional right to breathe.
Wow.
Right. Damn.
That's what the judge said?
That's what what this Edomite said.
But they had him tied up, they had him.
So there's this term that if they handcuff you behind your back and leave you on your stomach, he already couldn't breathe, and being so he was a big dude, and mind you, he had already defecated on himself. So he already did a number 2 on himself. So he's saying he can't breathe, and because he's big and because he got his hands behind his back, and they have this term, I can't remember the term, but even the coroner, when the coroner says asphyxiation,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't remember the full term, but yeah.
Wow, that's horrible, man.
She said you don't have a constitutional right to breathe.
Right. So what is it going to take for us to understand that we don't want to be subjected to what he just said right now as a people, right? Our leadership sucks, right? And we're gonna read about it. And this is one of my favorite scriptures right here. But it's gonna show you how much our leadership sucks. All right. Who had it? Who had that? Isaiah 56:10.
Come.
You got it? You eating? You good?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
His watchmen are blind.
His watchmen are what?
His watchmen are blind.
You hear that? They blind. They can't see nothing. Right? They can't see nothing because they don't got their eyes open. Not figuratively. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. Right? Go ahead.
They are all ignorant.
They're all what?
Ignorant.
You know what it is, right? Black leadership in America, this is what it is. It doesn't have any credibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, black leadership in America has zero credibility, you know, to the, you know, the dominant race, right? Of you know, the oppressor. Right? They have zero credibility because what is a leader? A leader that always begs all the time. A real leader, you know, knows how to fight, right? Like, look at all the leaders in history, right? You look at like Che Guevara, right? Che Guevara, who else? Denmark VZ, yeah, Kim Jong-un, all of them, they don't beg for nothing. They just do whatever the hell they're going to do, and they just understand that, look, this is the enemy, and this is what I full well understand that this is the enemy. I had people come up to tell me that they feel that they have to vote. So I said that somebody, you know, is anybody, you know, putting a gun to your head and making you vote? You know, if they're not, oh, okay, so you have to vote. Well, I feel that we have to vote because we have to have a say-so. Oh, so you got to say-so now in who becomes the president. Oh, okay. So in a place where we still trying to get Black Lives to matter, somehow our vote does. But Black lives don't matter? Right. That seems like a little bit, don't a vote seem a little less than a person's life? Seem a little less to me, but this is what we're conditioned to believe. Our leaderships full well accept white people as being in power. And that's actually the norm in America. Is that they're in the power, and what we're going to do is try everything that we can do to not piss them off, right? So how won't we piss them off, right? We'll get Black Lives Matter rally. What we'll do is we'll get a smart little black girl from some high school that is an A+ student. We'll get her up there to write a poem about racism. We'll so she can articulate it in a way that's different than saying the white man's the devil the Bible speaks of. Right. The skin that I'm in. What is wrong with my skin? Is my skin different from anybody else's skin? Come on now. They said, wow, that was a great poem, but we still ain't giving you nothing. Right? This is where our leadership does not understand because they are all what?
They are all ignorant.
Uh-huh.
They are all dumb dogs.
They're what?
They are all dumb dogs.
Who try to fashion us after European ideology. We don't even know that they try to make us all white. Right. They try to make us into white people. That's really what it is. The whole thing is everything. Everything that we do in America is white. Slakia, maybe I should be saying white. Go ahead.
I was about to say, so I don't see how hard, based on the statements that you just made, I don't see how hard it is for a Christian to understand that when it speaks about Greeks in the Bible, that is not speaking about the oppressor, but black men who, like you just said, are turned white.
Like look, we've been under the oppressor for so long, we know how to imitate him. You ever see that brother at work? He be like, he answered the phone. He a cool brother. He answered the phone. Be like, Johnson and Bruckheimer. He be like, yo, Dad, what's up, man? He be like, oh, man, they got me messed up here, man. This is a job, man. They got me, these crackers got me messed up, right? Like, we've learned how to, like, our sisters don't even wear their hair out because Afro is not acceptable at work. Let's be honest. It's not acceptable. right? Well, I don't care about dreads or whatever, but the point is I'm trying to make is that this is we have literally fit ourselves into a certain way that the job goes, you know what I mean, and work goes to fit into their idea of what is not too crazy for work. You know what I'm saying? Because we've literally been under them that long. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say we were Hellenized.
Right. And that's why you have to take it back. You know, like think of all the things like Satan is going to work on you. Like the point of coming to class is this, right? The point of coming here every week and all that kind of stuff is not to vex you. It's to keep you straight. Right. Because when you by yourself, Satan's going to work on you. Right. He's going to work on you. You think, look, Satan knew you when you wasn't even in that body you in right now. Right. Satan knows exactly what you like. He knows exactly how to play on your emotions. He knows exactly what is going to sway you to think something else. And the minute you find yourself out of the school, the minute you find yourself throwing everything away that you learned, the demons are just going to laugh. Satan's going to laugh at you and say, look, I got another one, right? Because that's the whole point. The whole point is to get you out of here, to shake you out of your crown. That's the whole game. And what you got to do is you got to hold the line. Right. Hold the line and not let nothing take you out the school. Nothing. It doesn't matter. Like look, my daughter was getting surgery and I went to camp. I wasn't outside the goddamn hospital like, oh shit. You know, I'm gonna go to camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what happens, you got to stay consistent. And you got to show the Lord that nothing is going to take you out of it. Because if you a type of brother who your girl is the reason that you can't be here, the Lord will take your girl from you. So then that'll be the reason why you can come, because she ain't there no more. So you got to understand what you actually are here for and the God that you say that you serve. Because the God that you say that you serve is not all loving like the church tries to make you. Right. Yeah, real deal. You know what I mean? And so this is what you got to understand. So this is the reason why we're all here. You're here because this is how we know that you're following what you're supposed to be following. How the hell I know what the hell? How can I report what the hell you doing if I don't never see you? I don't know what the hell you doing. We was at camp one time, and they was like, we was at camp one day, right? We was in Philly. We at camp. So, you know, we on post, you know, we trying to look, you know, we got our mean mug on, you know, we walking back and forth, you know, we at camp. And it was like 5 dudes that came up like, that nigga there, that nigga's a homosexual. That nigga's a homo. That nigga's a homo. They just kept saying it over and over like, yo, man, I don't know, man. Y'all might not, they was heckling us, but they was like, I don't know about that dude. Y'all better check that dude right there. Because he be S&D, you know, I seen him S&D downtown. So they was saying it. They kept saying it and saying it and saying it. I looked at Captain Akkad and he was like, oh, I don't know. It might be real. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, this dude ain't in school no more. But at that time, you know, I know we get personal attacks, but that one was like, that one seemed like it was, you know, it had a little, yeah, they was like, no, that dude right there. I don't look, y'all better check who y'all letting in y'all camp, because that dude be S&D downtown. I looked at Captain Akkad, he just was like, like, you know, I don't know. Well, you know, of course, we, you know what I mean, we still kept it together, you know what I'm saying? And we went to camp and we kept speaking. And then the brother just stopped coming around and we don't see him no more. So maybe that's what he was doing. Yeah, maybe that's what he was doing. That's crazy. So this is the point, man. You want to be here, man. What the hell?
I don't know.
hell is that? Writing anything. Just writing anything in the chat. All right. So Hawar, what's going on, Hawar? Young man Wood. Shalom to you. What's going on, y'all? No. This is on the group chat. All right. So could you read it one more time from the top, Warrior? All right.
This what? Book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
His watchmen are blind.
They're what?
Are blind. They are all ignorant.
They're ignorant to the fact that there is no such thing as equality. There's there is no such thing as equality in America. As a matter of fact, hold on. If you could grab something from me, Mataza Pa. It's called let me see. I'm gonna get it for y'all real quick. It is, if you don't mind, Proverbs 22:7. You had, I thought you had your phone. So oh, here you go. I was just trying, 22:7.
Okay.
All right, you got it, Warrior. No, not you, but you can keep going on where you going.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. His watchmen are blind.
They are all dumb dogs.
Uh-huh.
They cannot bark.
They cannot what?
They cannot bark.
Right. They can't warn you about anything that's going to come down to you because they're sitting in a good spot, right? They're good. It's like, y'all ever heard of the boule? The bourgeoisie? Y'all heard of them? Right? These are the people that's put over to protect white supremacy. They protect white supremacy because they benefit off of white supremacy and they have a good seat. No different than the Sadducees and the Pharisees that was under the Romans at the time. No different. What they say, if we let him alone, then we're not gonna be able to sit in this seat, right? If we leave him alone. So, and remember, they were the ones who turned Christ over, right? If I'm not mistaken, or they, yeah. So, it's the leadership of our people. Ain't it been a long time? It's been a long time since we've been doing this, right? But we do have righteous leadership now.
Damn right.
But we are caught. I watched every single cult show that came on. I watched every single one, and we're not that. I mean, come on now. I mean, literally, like, and even if you would say that we're a cult, then you would have to. Then that proves that when a Christian says that we're a cult, they obviously don't know the Bible, because at one time, wouldn't the Christians have been a cult? Because it wasn't the dominant religion in Rome. You know what I mean? And so really with a cult, when they say that we're a cult, it just means that the majority doesn't agree and follow what we believe. That's why you're a cult. Because it's harder to be a cult. It's harder to be and do what we do, right? Because out of billions of people, how many people on the earth? 7, 8 billion people. Out of all of them, you decided to stand with the Lord. The worst thing you could do is go back into the world, man. That's like the dumbest SHIT ever. You know how dumb you're gonna look. you trying to talk. You not in here no more, but you trying to teach your friends and your family about the Lord, but you ain't in here no more. And you know what they're gonna say? Here come Malcolm X. Here come the dude, the conspiracy theorist, right? They're not gonna care. Why would you go back to something like that when you got people in here that believe everything that you believe? Go ahead. You want to say something?
7.9 billion.
7.9 billion people on the earth, and you decided to stand with the Lord. That's not something that everybody do, right? Mathematically, it show you Christianity ain't the way, because if we still here because of 144,000 ain't sealed, 12,000 from the tribe of Judah, 12,000 from the Reuben, 12,000 from Issachar. Out of 144,000 people, out of 7.9 billion, how it ain't 144,000, dead or alive? Come on now. Mathematically, if Christianity has how many billions of Christians is on the earth? Hold on, let me see. How many Christians are on the earth? 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion.
2.5 billion.
2.5 billion Christians are on the earth right now. So if 2.5 billion Christians are on the earth, we don't have 144,000 and 2.5 billion. You know how small a number that is in 2.5 billion? That's like 0.00000000001. Right? Because this that mathematically show you Christianity ain't the way.
Right.
It's not. It's not. Christianity is what rules our people. Christianity is a religion of servitude, basically. It's a religion of servitude to the oppressor. And what it does is it makes you consider the life and the welfare of other people over your own. Right? And so you'll put a flag up on your Facebook page for France. France. You'll put up, save the whales, save, the Czech Republic, right? You'll do that because you think that your life is good here. It's like this, right? Back in slavery, this is what they would do, right? They would lock a slave in like a small room, right? For months, right? Maybe weeks or whatever, months, right? To discipline you, right? Or they would lock you in the stocks. You know the stocks, right? They put you in the stocks and they would starve you or whatever for 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? When they would let you out of that, they would let you go into the cotton field. So then when you was in the cotton field after being locked down for a couple of weeks, you would have freedom. But the freedom when you got the freedom, you was in the cotton field. So you still was in captivity. Right. It's the same as today. They let you go out and roam the world because they kept us on the plantation. But all they did was let you out into the cotton field. Right. So you're still not free at all. What, the kids falling apart? Right? So essentially, you're still on the cotton field. Right. You think you're not, but you are. All right? Hey, Matata Pa, you had that one? Which one did you have?
Proverbs.
Oh.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 5.
7.
Equality.
We're talking about equality. Equality. Right? That's what we're fighting for, right? So that we can be equal. But the oppressor ain't fighting to be equal with nobody. They want to rule over you. They don't want you to be equal. Right? Go ahead.
Says the rich ruleth over the poor.
There's your equality right there.
Right.
The rich rule the poor. You're ruled by the rich. We're ruled by the rich. So it would be asinine for you to think that you can march and get equal with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a billionaire. You're going to be, we marching to be equal with Jeff Bezos. Okay, check this out. I remember this video, right? Jeff Bezos is worth what? $200 billion? Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you America real quick, y'all. All right. I'm gonna show y'all America. How much is Jeff Bezos worth?
$196,100,000,000.
Hold on. How much is Jeff Bezos worth?
The net worth of Jeff Bezos is $196,100,000,000.
Yeah. Okay. $196 billion, right? The CEO of Amazon. 196 billion, right? How many people are on the earth?
7.9 billion.
So he could give everybody $1 billion and still have $193 billion. But he won't, right? Because they're not going to give niggas nothing. They're not going to do nothing. He could do it. He could give everybody on the planet that's on the planet right now living. He could at least give you $2, $3, $4 million. But he would, right? He still would have $190 billion. But this place, go ahead, Matata Bar.
He could give you $1 million and really receive it all back because everybody's just gonna spend $1 million
on Amazon. Right. Everybody would just spend it back on Amazon. They could really do it. World hunger They could eradicate it. They could eradicate world hunger. They could eradicate all of that. But somehow they skipped over cancer and AIDS and what else? Diabetes, hunger, to give everybody a shot for COVID. Somehow that's what's keeping the world back of COVID, right? The niggas is walking off the job too. Niggas walking off the job because they don't want to get the jab. Right? Kyrie Irving said, "The hell with this NBA." But that's what it is. 7 billion people, you got 100 billion, 100, almost $200 billion. You can give everybody $1 billion and we'd be good. We're gonna all spend it back on Amazon, right? Go ahead and talk about. Go ahead. Okay, so go ahead. Read it one more time.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The rich ruleth over the poor,
Mm-hmm.
and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Say that one more time.
The borrower is servant to the lender.
So there goes your equality right there, black people, Hispanics, Native Indians. There's your equality. You have none, right? We should not be trying to be equal with the oppressor because we're over the oppressor, right? Go ahead, Matazapa.
2nd Ezra 5 and 25.
Go ahead.
Second Ezra chapter 5. Salakia. One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 5 and 23. It says, "And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and over all of the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. And of all
y'all know what the pit is, Gia? You know what the pit is?
No.
The pit is Jerusalem, Israel. Go ahead.
It says, what verse? And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove.
Mm-hmm.
And all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. So, you know, what I'm showing is that there's no equality amongst the birds, the animals, the damn flowers, vines,
the ground. Yeah.
Nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. But somehow it's supposed to be equality with humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. That's not equality.
There's no equality.
There is no equality in that.
We want to be equal so bad with the oppressor that we just allow ourselves to be used.
Right.
We just allow ourselves to be used with no self-respect at all. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like no self-respect at all. Let me show y'all something. Hold on, man. Let me show y'all something. Yeah, we was watching that. Hold on, let me show y'all something.
Y'all seen them dancing?
Yeah, that was crazy, right? Y'all gonna laugh when y'all see this though. This is funny. This is funny. This is gonna be, y'all gonna laugh. All right, let me make this bigger.
What's wrong with you, black women? What's wrong with you voting for Barack Obama? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy. Black people, let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't ever hear me say preach again, they can kill me tomorrow. What's wrong with you, black women? What's wrong with you voting for Barack Obama? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy. Black people, let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't ever hear me say preach again, they can kill me tomorrow. Let me tell you something. We're not going to ever get anywhere until we look into the mind of a black man. He doesn't think correctly. I don't care what he is. He can be a doctor. He can be an astrophysicist. The nigga ain't got no sense. You talk to him. You talk to a black man. He doesn't understand the world. He's never built anything. The most the black people have ever done, they did it here in America under white people's help. When they were in Africa, they didn't do nothing. Black people had Africa, that big old continent over there. They never built one boat that was seaworthy, not one. There's not one monument in Africa, in all of Africa. I know you're talking about Egypt. Egypt is not Africa. There are no great cities that were built. Even before the first colonization of white people coming to the shores of Africa or the slave ships, black men built nothing. No sewer system, no houses above one level, and none of them made out of stone, all of them made out of grass and wood. Black men, before the white man ever got to Africa. The worst thing that could ever happen to South Africa was when they gave it to Nelson Mandela and black folk. That was a great nation. Now, notwithstanding apartheid was wrong, we all know it's wrong. I'm against it. There should have been some other resolution, though, than turning it over to Nelson Mandela. Disease, AIDS, and crime is running wild in Johannesburg. They're killing one another over there. They're dying of sickness. The government is mismanaged. The people who ran the nation are now leaving the nation because black folk don't know how to run no nation. They don't know how, and we need to admit it. I know you don't like it, but you need to stop shucking and jiving. We got a problem. Nigeria produces oil every year, yet the children over there are hungry and pot-bellied and walking barefoot. We got a problem. You talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis. Look what's going on in Zimbabwe now with Mugabe. We got a problem.
So, let me stop it real quick. Yeah. So now you see, man, like that's the leadership of black people. Him. That's our leadership. Go ahead and talk about.
Leadership skills are so horrible. And then the crazy thing, if you was watching, you see the people that was sitting right. And the lady was sitting there like she's in class, like how we do. You know, we write down what the dude is saying. When he broke down something stupid, she's sitting there writing it down. You know.
Yeah, like they was like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
She's gonna go teach dumbness.
Yeah, exactly. Ignorance. Yeah. Right? You see that? Go ahead.
And argue with her rib that is true.
Yeah, that brother said, he said black people ain't know nothing. And the only greatness that we had was when we had white people helping us do it. Now that's the sentiment that speaks to black leadership with black people. Huh?
They haven't been able to recreate pyramids since.
Right.
And we built the pyramids.
Right.
So,
He just said it's not Africa.
I know Egypt.
It could never be anything great.
I ain't never seen that before. That's
Yeah.
7 years old. I've never seen that.
And he's an older man. Yeah, that's what's sad.
Yeah.
That's what's sad.
And so, go ahead and talk about.
Imagine the older ladies and the older men who are in, his congregation, and they got their grandchildren or they got their nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, and these young children got to hear that they ain't nothing. That you're nothing. You're never going to be nothing. You didn't come from nothing. You ain't come from nothing. You ain't going to be nothing. You ain't going to amount to a hill of beans.
Right.
So to say. You know what I mean? Like, man, that's horrible.
Right. That's horrible. Go ahead.
And that you need white people. Yeah.
Right. He said, I'm not here to shuck and jive. Well, you just did. You just did. Right. You just did. So what I'm trying to do is just show y'all, like, this is what we actually are up against here. And y'all are in the best spot because, like Commander Jim Yohana said on Monday night, man, like, these schools are going to be like the think tanks. That's going to be like, because like what we're doing here is we're talking over issues and subjects and stuff like that. That's a think tank. That's a think tank of how we're going to rule the planet. Right in these small schools like this, man, all over the United States. This is what we're doing right now. Well, after the different time zone, they're gonna be talking about it. The last time zone, which is California, they're gonna be talking about the same thing we talking about over here, day in and day out. It's kind of like a ripple effect. You know what I mean? And then you got London, which is on a totally different time zone. They're talking about it while we're asleep. You know what I mean? So it's like the word of the Lord is always going. It's constantly going, constantly going, constantly going. All you got to do is make sure that you hold the line and don't fall off, because Satan is going to try to make you fall off. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're going to figure out. You're going to figure it out when you're going to look up and it's going to be like 6 years past, or maybe 2 or 3 years or something like that. You're going to look up like, damn. It's been that long. You know what I'm saying? You're going to come back. Niggas going to be captains. Niggas going to be, brothers that who you came in with is going to be, officers of 5,000 and all kinds of crazy stuff because you fell out. And then you got to start over. You don't want to start over. You know what I mean? You want to build your house up, but you want to build that house up strong, right? So Satan won't be able to knock it down so easy, because a lot of brothers, they build that house up on sand. And then Satan will just come in and just take it off. You know what I mean? Because so the main thing you want to do is always stay focused. I'm in Hebrew Academy now. I'm not like I'm an instructor in Hebrew Academy, but I'm there because it's keeping me there. You know what I mean? Keeping me in it, always in it. I'm just as hungry as I was when I came into the school as I am now. So nothing ever changed. The only thing is just that just the time. You know what I mean? But I'm still just as hungry. So when these brothers are out there, Taziala, Isaiah Ward, Thashiyam, when they're out there, we're out there at the crack of dawn, man. It's like there's still fog on the field. You know what I'm saying? We're out there. These brothers are lined up. It's like we're out there showing, because you got to understand this, right? The truth doesn't owe you anything, nothing. Right? Like, you think you righteous, right? You think you righteous and all that. Like, oh, I'm righteous. All that goofy shit. It's a lot from my language, right? You think you righteous and all that, right? But what the scriptures say? Our righteousness is as what? Filthy rags. So everything you think, oh, yeah, I'm righteous, blah, 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 right? That doesn't mean nothing, right? The thing is, you want to do, man, is understand that the truth doesn't owe you anything, and this is not about you, right? This is something greater than yourself, right? So the truth is the one thing in life that you've had to go through, that you had to prove to why you should be a part of it, right? Because what has our life been, right? Our lives is basically based off of somebody proving to you why you should be a part of them, right? So if you want to, like, before you move into a house, what do they got to do? Show you why you should live there, right? Yeah, look at it. Look how we got the closet space. Look at this. Look at the room, the plan, the layout for the floor. This is why you should live here and give us your money. Give us your money, right? A job. See, look. See, we got benefits. We got we got a boot allowance. We'll help you out with this. We'll give you that. Blah blah blah. Right? This is why you should work at this amazing company, right? And that's what we've been through our whole life. Even a weed dealer. See, you should buy my weed because look, my weed is way better than his. See what I'm saying? It's like that's literally what we go through in our life. It's like somebody always proving to you why you should be a part of it, or why you should, partake in what they're offering. But with the school, with the truth is more so you have to prove why you should be here, right? And that's what it is. So it's like you don't look at the school as a slavery or nothing like that. You look at it as, this is something that I'm a part of that's bigger than myself. It's bigger than anything that I could conceive, because this is actually something that I'm doing for the Most High, right? And this is why, tithing is important, right? Because whatever you put your money to, you will be on it. If you invest your money in stocks, nigga, you watching them stocks, right? you want to, hey, you got 3 screens. You got 3 screens, so you can watch where your bread is at all times of the day. You looking at support lines. You looking at the resistance. You looking at everything that's going on in the stock market. Why? Because your bread is on there. on the line. And that's how it is with the truth. It's like when you where you put your money at is what you're gonna give a damn about. That's that. I'm trying to tell you, a nigga put $2 in. You know what I mean? A nigga put $2. He be like, look, I put my $2 in. Nigga didn't give me what he said he was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sis.
The heart is where the money is.
Yeah, where you lay your treasure, where your heart's gonna be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where it's gonna be. So that's why it's important. Like that, those things aren't something that's like light. You know what I'm saying? Like those are you got. That's how you prove. Like I love this place. This is my spot. This is where I'm at. Yo, why not? These niggas from the world. These niggas from the world. They got car clubs and everything, right? I seen this dude. He had a car club. I said, damn. He's like, yeah, we all put a little bit of money in every month or whatever. So we got a garage where we can come and we can work on our cars. We can pull our cars up. We got like a little spot where we can bring women back to. We can have parties in here, blah, 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 right? But if they're in the world and they can do that, why the hell can't we do it? And we supposed to be righteous, right? Right? So we should be able to do that too. How some niggas in the goddamn world with a car club is going to outshine brothers and sisters that are in the truth? It makes no sense, right? All right. So, So hopefully with this class, brothers got a clear understanding, right? That money won't save us, right? We got money. How many niggas we know that got money, right? All the celebrities got money, but that's not going to save black people, right? We put our trust in money. Yeah, money is a defense, but it's not what's going to save us out of this captivity, right? Could somebody get weapons of warfare? Weapons of our warfare. So when you read books like Che Guevara has a good book. Let me see. You read books about Nat Turner. You read books about Denmark Vesey. Was it Oladad Equiano? Yeah, Equiano. You read books about these brothers throughout history. You know what I'm saying? Like they all fought against oppression, right? But in Che Guevara's book, he talked about guerrilla warfare, right? That's how he fought against. He understood that's how he would fight to get freedom to the Cuban people, right? Through guerrilla warfare. The Vietnamese people, they understood that they could beat America with guerrilla warfare, right? They would go in the jungle, they would create tunnels, and they would fight the oppressor from underground, from traps. You walk on a piece of leaf, and next thing you know, you 20 feet in the damn air, right? You know what I'm saying? You walk in, it's a hole with spiked bamboo in there, and you fall down 10 feet on top of some bamboo, right? And it pierced all 3 parts of your body, and you just done, right? And they had ways of fighting war, right? The thing is, you can fight war, but there's different ways that you can fight war too. Right? There's different ways you can fight war, right? And we're gonna show one of the ways that we can fight a war, right? Because there's many ways you can fight, and we're gonna show the way that we're supposed to fight. Somebody got it? If not, I'll get it. No sweat. You had it? Go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. You got to read it loud. It's brothers online, sisters online. They can't hear you. 2 Corinthians 10 and what? 4?
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
They're not what?
Are not carnal.
You see that? The weapons of our warfare is not carnal. What does that mean? Young man Steve?
It means that it doesn't work. Our weapons, like don't take it to like how would I put it? Like don't put all your faith into it.
Somewhat. I'm gonna give Tara.
Like our military, our guns, weapons that you can physically touch aren't going to work for this particular war.
Matazapa, you good?
Yeah, I'm straight.
Kazagawa?
I was going to say something similar to Rock. Carnal, and that means that you can't come to this fight with guns, knives, bats, because they not going.
Right.
Basically.
Right. That's what you want, right? So the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. So what does that mean our the weapons of our warfare are? Right? Okay, so what does that mean? Go ahead.
That it's going to take the spirit of Yahweh basically to defeat whatever enemy that's going to come upon us.
Go ahead.
Like, you know, the war is like, you know, we go out there every Friday. Well, you know, not even just Fridays, but Friday, Saturday, we go to war. We talk about the things of, you know, the oppressors is doing. We bring down their strongholds. Anything that, you know, anything that's like a stronghold over Black people's minds, you know, we tackle those concepts.
Yeah. Like, okay, like meaning this, right? What we give our spirit to is what we empower. So we have to take our spirit back from it.
That's right.
So this weekend, don't dress up like a slutty cat, right? Or a slutty nurse. It's always got to be something slutty, or a slutty nun, right? Don't do that. Don't go out and you know, just because it's Halloween, don't eat no candy. You know what I'm saying? Like if we take our spirit from that, it won't empower it. And because America has our spirit is why America is empowered. So if the weapons of our warfare is spiritual, right? It's not carnal, it's spiritual. That would mean that it's spiritual. That means that we have to take our spirit away from what we empower. And that's how we fight the war. Because the minute we do that, then America will fall. Then the Most High will start to fight for us, right? Like he's already been doing, of course, with the coronavirus. But then we'll see more school shootings. We'll see more of them. Ooh, yeah. Right? We'll start to see, you know, him come to his feet. You remember that scripture where it says that he shall come to his feet? You know what I'm talking about? Ah, man. Hold on. I'm gonna get like a couple more scriptures, then we're gonna roll. Let me see.
You said it says what?
He shall rise to his feet. Rise to his feet. I think that's it. Read it. Can you read it?
Behold, at that time I will deal with all your oppressors, and I will save the lame and gather the outcasts, and I will change their shame.
Okay. Oh man, that was a good scripture. I know that'll be good. Bring him to his feet. Let me see. One second.
Is it Ezekiel 2:1, sir?
How it sound?
It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, stand up on thy feet.
No, this is talking about the oppressor. I can't think of the scripture.
1 Corinthians 15:27. For he must reign till he hath put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy shall be destroyed.
Oh man, we're talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about? Oh man, it's. I can't think of the rest of the part. Yeah, because it's like okay. I'll just break it down. Kind of just lay it out. But like the scripture is more so like You know how like our because of what the Lord will do to the oppressor. Like imagine like a king, he sits down, right? Because he's in rulership. Hold on. Terror's at every side. Hold on. That's it? Terror's at every side. Hold on. Come on now. The Lord want me to say that now. Hold on. All right. Could you read it?
Terror shall make him afraid on every side.
That's it. Right? Uh-huh.
And shall drive him to his feet.
And shall what?
And shall drive him to his feet.
What is that talking about? Anybody? Exactly. Like when you are like when you're in rulership, you're sitting down. Like imagine a king that's sitting down. He's in rulership. He don't gotta stand up. He's sitting down. You know what I'm saying? But when he see all the terrors at every side, now he's gonna have to stand up and see what the hell is going on. Because now the terrors are every side. So now he got to look, he's gonna have to stand up now. And that's what our oppressor is gonna have to do. When we start to take our spirit away from this place, he's gonna have to stand up and he's gonna have to figure out what the hell is going on, because I'm good with just sitting down. You know, I can run it sitting down, but he's gonna have to get up. And at some point, it's gonna have to happen, right? But we're gonna have to understand that the way that we've been trying is not gonna work, right? This is assimilist leadership that we have, right? I know what assimilation is, right? Right. And so our leaders are, I don't even know if that's a word, assimilist. Yeah, assimilist. That's what we have, assimilist. You know, that's where our leadership is. They just want to assimilate and figure out a way that they can figure out the way to marry us with the oppressor. Marry us. Ain't that effeminate as hell? Ain't that us? That's us. We want to marry white folks. We want to figure out a way that we can live vicariously through them. Right? What we see as a good life is what they have as a good life, right? Right? The Maybachs, it looked nice though. The Range Rover, the 2021, you know, the Maybach and the Rolls Royce. I do like the Rolls Royce though. I do like it. Right? 10 bedroom. There you go. 10 bedroom. Gia back there. All right, Thusser Young. All right. So yeah, it looks nice, right? It looked nice, but at the same time, you know, those things you should be able to have that. Everybody here needs it. Could deserve to have that. Shit, you pick cotton in America, why not? You know what I mean? So, in closing, this is what we have to do. You have to distance yourself, right? And everything that you do. Race mixing is not the answer. Race mixing is not the answer. That's not going to cure white supremacy. All right? Having as many babies as you can by white women. It's not going to work. Race mixing, you know, we got to distance ourselves. We got to understand that the quality of life is not considered upon who you live next to. All right? So you got to get away from them. You got to take your kids away from them, right? Schooling them, right? The ISUPK got a school. Y'all see that? I was brushing my teeth this morning like, damn, Most High in Christ, they got a school. All right, Most High in Christ. That's dope. I don't know, Matthias Bob, what you think? You gonna do it? Yeah, they got a school for kids, K through 12. Go ahead. We got it. It's in the chat. Yeah. You get it from Thusser Young. And they have Thusser Young ain't doing it. Yeah, but K through 12. Imagine that. You go to school right here. Ain't that something? Damn. So we gotta understand that race mixing ain't gonna work, right? We gotta understand that living in their neighborhoods is not the answer, right? You know, we gotta take our kids from their schools right? We got to try to get our own businesses, right? And we got to start to totally rely on ourselves, right? Because what our leadership does not do is understand what they don't do is they don't teach us to understand that our power is going to rely on ourselves, because that's too radical in a system of white supremacy. It's too somebody Taliban came in there. I know my phone about to get cut off now. But you know, that's the idea, you know what I'm saying, that they don't teach us, is that our power lies within each other. And every other nation understands that. And the quicker we will understand that, is the quicker that we'll be able to get out of this oppression. All right. Anybody got any questions about that? Everybody like.
You know what? I can ask my question now.
Go ahead.
All right. One of the scriptures that we just went over said something about the borrower is a servant.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, we talk about getting our credit fixed.
Uh-huh.
How do you explain that?
Oh, because it's easy. Debt is okay. Debt, right? Think of debt. When you get a loan, you're a servant to the lender. You work for the lender, because the lender, like, okay, I'll give you an example. My mortgage is interest, right? On my mortgage. My principal, the principal on the house, like I paid, you know, when you pay mortgage, you pay mortgage, and the principal is only $150, right? And the rest is interest. Essentially, you're a servant to the borrower. You're borrowing. Since you're the borrower, you're a servant to the lender. Because if you don't go to work and you don't pay what they lent you, then they're taking that house. So you're a servant. And so it's showing you the dynamic between the rich and the poor, and the servant and the borrower. So if you're a borrower of anybody, of anything, you're a servant. Go ahead.
So basically, you having credit equals you being a slave.
No, not necessarily. Okay. Well, yeah, economic slavery. Okay. But like, but think of it more like on these lines. Remember the movie Friday? Yeah. Big Worm. When Big Worm, what he said, Smokey, you got my $200? Why? Because he lent Smokey an ounce of weed, and he owed him $200 on the weed. So he said, you got my money? You ain't got my money? Then, all right, I'm going to be back here by such and such o'clock, and I'm going to get my money. So what did Smokey do? He had to go out and figure out how he was going to get his money. So he was a servant to the, you know what I mean? He was a servant to the, he was a borrower, and then and Big Worm was the lender. And so now he's a servant to the lender. I mean, to the borrower. To the lender, yeah. It's like getting kind of jacked up there. Go ahead. Like being a servant, like a borrower. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you get to a point where, I mean, it's always going to be like that in a capitalist system. Like we're always going to, it's a difference with being like your mind is in captivity. Like, of course, we're here in captivity. So yeah, your body is physically in captivity because you're here in America. You can't leave. If we try to go 1 million people to the airport right now and talking about we leaving, what's going to happen? They're going to be like, how many of y'all niggas owe child support? Raise your hand. Like, you know, that's going to be what? 200,000 niggas right there. All right, y'all got to go. All right. How many of y'all got felonies? That's the other half, right? So it'd be like 2 or 3 niggas left that could go to Africa. All right, go ahead to Africa. But then when you get there, you know, your visa's only for this long. And you got to come back. See what I'm saying? So yeah, our body is physically in captivity, but your mind doesn't have to be. And our leadership doesn't understand. They have done something that is amazing. What they have been able to do, and what the oppressor has been able to do, was convince us to love them while we're in captivity. And that right there is something that we've never done throughout history. No nation that ever has been in captivity loves the people that have them in captivity. That's crazy. The Afghan people, they threw rocks at tanks for 20 years and came over here, and they are over top of us. You know what I mean? Because they understand that the oppressor is the devil, right? So they understand, yeah, they're oppressing us, but they don't have to have our spirit either. And the minute that they fought America for 20 years, they went right back up into the palace and took over Afghanistan in 5 days. And then, then the other ones are here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a spiritual warfare. You know, like the scriptures say, the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. It's a spiritual battle. So yeah, while you hear, of course, with anything that's economic, you're always going to be a slave to it because, you know, we don't control the economic system. Where we get it jacked up is we think that the people that created the game is going to play by the rules of the game. They made the game, so they don't have to abide by the rules of the game. What you talking about? Nigga, I can cheat anytime I want. You know, you the nigga that's playing the game. So yeah, I'll cheat, and whenever I want to cheat. It goes like that with court or whatever it is that we deal with. They make the rules so they can control the game. And what we don't understand, what our leadership doesn't understand, is that they can control the game and they don't have to follow anything. It's clear that killing niggas in America is legal. You know what I'm saying? So they full well know this, but our leadership, they just so weak and effeminate that. Yeah, and blind, like the scriptures say, that we're not being aware of these things. They just basically react after the devil gets you, instead of telling you to watch out for him before he comes. So, like I said, our watchmen are blind, right? All right. Anybody got any more questions? No. All right. We're gonna go for another hour. All right. Everybody, turn your books to the Book of Genesis. All right. No sweat. All right. I'm gonna bring up Priest and Officer Thushium. He got up here quick.
Security announcements, rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from their head. Tithing, which is a commandment, ma'asharah, which means tenth in Hebrew, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. That's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives to you. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest is not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you can give. Up in Holy Convocation, we got the Feast of Dedication coming up. All right, that's November the 28th. If you got anything that you want to dedicate to the school, make sure you bring it. All right. We're gonna be having we're gonna be having a mandatory cleanup and rededication to the Lord on November the 25th, just to prepare for the Feast of Dedication. So if you got anything that you want to dedicate to the school, look, now that's the time to bring it so that we can put it all in place, so we can have everything look glorious. November the 28th.
Salaki, what about the painting and all that stuff? You sure you want to do it that like 3 days before we get the thing? Okay, all right, no sweat.
So that we can have it nice and fresh.
Okay.
Everything fresh and glorious, all right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, and headband, and scarf. And saying that, Amijam, we're going to give the teacher a courtesy salute. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam, Barak. Matah, Star, turn. We're gonna face the sisters. Sisters, can you stand? Amijam. We're gonna give the sisters a courtesy salute. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam, Barak. Matah. Class dismissed. Yes, I want it to be nice and fresh.
Okay, no sweat.
Everything in place.
Dismissed.